I genuinely believe there needs to be this restructure of the governance of English football. We do need an independent regulator. It needs policing. Football is a representation of current society. We have a hierarchy and an elite, but we also have the clubs that need the food banks and are basically begging all the time. And it doesn't need to be like that. The problem is with English football, all the power is in the Premier League. It's not with the FA. The FA is essentially an organisation that carries no power at all or authority. And the Premier League is stuck. They can't get anything through. And that's actually the top six can't get anything through. So if you speak to the top six, they may want to give more money to the sort of lower leagues, but they want that to potentially be at the expense of the 14. Whereas the 14 might want to give some money to the lower clubs. They want that to be at the expense of the top six. What really got to me was sitting in the League Two calls during COVID, and that rescue package that League One and League Two clubs have been asking for didn't come for about 10 to 12 months. And I was seeing the desperation of the clubs on the calls and the chairman and the executives on the calls of League Two clubs. Yet I was then going to watch Premier League football and looking at sort of all the excess and the excess that exists. You've got the top club, the bottom club in the Premier League getting 100 million. You've got the top of the Championship getting 5 or 6, unless they're a parachute club, and then they get 44 million. And then you've got this massive problem with parachute payments. I think Rick Parry summed it up brilliantly. If there wasn't a cliff edge, you wouldn't need a parachute. What it should be is a step down. There should be sporting disappointment and some economic disappointment if you get relegated from the Premier League. The problem is it becomes a disaster. I want us to have a competitive Premier League where the elite can be challenged. That means we need new elite coming forward all the time. Owners, I think, should be allowed to invest into football clubs above the level of their revenues as long as they're good for their money. I believe then what you allow is Salford to go from step 8 of English football up to step 2. If we only ever were able to spend our revenue, we would be stuck in non-league forevermore. I genuinely believe there needs to be this restructure of the governance of English football. We do need an independent regulator. It needs policing. We cannot allow the power to rest in the hands of American investment funds and the owners of the top 6 clubs. I have no problem with American investment funds coming into football in this country because I know we can't stop it. I actually think we've benefited from investment into the Premier League, and it's a product that everyone around the world enjoys. But however, American investment funds do not think like the English football fan in this country. They want to extract and take. They don't want to give back and basically live in the spirit of what English football is. They're not interested in that.